human survival is linked to a thriving ecosystem of flora and fauna. From the vast rainforests to fragrant flowers, birds, fish, and seemingly inconspicuous insects, all make up the rich biodiversity surrounding us. But this biodiversity is under threat worldwide, and each day there is one species becoming endangered, extinct, or vulnerable due to threats posed by climate change and other human activities. Now biodiversity protection brooks no delay. In September 2010, the 65th General Assembly of the United Nations announced in Resolution 161 that the period from 2011 to 2020 would be the United Nations Decade of Biodiversity. China is one of the countries with the richest biodiversity in the world, and one of the first countries to join the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. China has established extensive foreign cooperation and exchange relations with the European Union, the United Nations Environment Programme, and the World Union for Conservation of Nature, and has carried out a large number of biodiversity cooperation projects. The Chinese government attaches great importance to biodiversity protection. It has issued relevant documents and established a biodiversity monitoring network. As for the construction of nature reserves with national parks to provide protected areas for species conservation, China has set up 10 national parks, including Sanjiangyuan, Amur tiger and leopard, giant panda, Qilian mountain, Hainan tropical rainforest, Shennongjia, Wuyishan, Nanshan, Qinjiangyuan, and Pudazuo national parks. At present, China has more than 1.7 million square kilometers of land-based protected areas, accounting for 18% of the total land area. China has reached the goal of 17% by 2020, which is required by the Convention on Biological Diversity ahead of schedule. More than 90% of the terrestrial natural ecosystem types and 89% of the national key protected wild animals and plants are protected in the nature reserve, and the wild populations of some rare and endangered species are gradually bouncing back. The practice of biodiversity protection requires the support and assistance of science and technology. In China, many research institutions have contributed their wisdom to national and even global biodiversity conservation. A biodiversity health database has been established for Antarctic scientific research, ocean exploration, and genome research. In terms of the formulation and implementation of local regulations on biodiversity, the regulations on biodiversity protection of Yunnan Province were officially implemented from January 1, 2019. This is the first local regulation of biodiversity conservation in China. Yunnan Province of China is located in the mountainous area of southwest China. It is one of the 34 hotspots of biodiversity in the world, and it is also the area with the richest biodiversity in China. At the same time, Yunnan has proven to be the most effective region in China's biodiversity conservation practice. The 15th Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity in 2021 will also be held in Kunming, Yunnan Province. Global cooperation is required to conserve biodiversity. China is using its wisdom and strengthening international exchanges and cooperation to make leading contributions to biodiversity protection. The country aims to be a green home for harmonious development of man and nature.